One of the applications that we use in the program is a little program called GarageBand, which runs on the Mac. GarageBand we don't spend too much time with, but it's a useful little program for creating background music or music for a video. So I'm just going to give you a little run through about how we might create some music in GarageBand. GarageBand is loop-based, so we can create music using loops. And just as an example, I'm going to have a listen to some music over here. I'm going to start with some drums. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to do a little Latin piece today. So I'm going to zip down here and filter out the loops. I'm going to look for funky Latin drums here. So I can audition these and have a listen to them over here. And I think that will be as good as any. So I'm going to drag that into my timeline. Now it's only one bar, so I'm going to actually trim it out to 4 bars here. So I've got at least some music to be playing with. I can turn a loop button on down here so I can have that music looping. One of the nice things about GarageBand is that we can do a lot of things in real time. So if I want to maybe add a bass part to this drum loop, I can go and audition my bass parts up here. Maybe turn the drums down a little bit and have a listen to the bass parts that would go along with this. And if I can't hear that too bad, I can turn that up. Drums are still a little loud. So I can listen to some of these bass parts until I find one that I like. We'll try this woody Latin bass. Yeah, I like that one better. So I'm just going to drag that into the timeline and add a bass part to my drums. And I'm going to trim that out a little bit as well. Make that 4 bars. And then maybe I might go back and choose some piano for this song. Let's have a listen to the piano parts we have. Well, we can try that and see if that works. So we'll bring that into the timeline. It's probably a little loud, but we'll turn it down a bit. Again, I'll trim that out. Now in this manner we can build up a song in GarageBand. There's lots of little tricks when you learn how the program works. We can copy loops fairly easily. We can extend the production out like so. We can change the length of the loop if we want to up here, so we can have a bigger part of the song looping. Later on, when you get more advanced in the program, we can go in and we can edit these loops. We can change how they sound. And one of the other things that we can do is we can create tracks and we can play them as virtual instruments. Over here we've got a big choice of sounds that we can play on that track. It doesn't have to be a grand piano, it could be a music box. So that's here's what that would sound like. So we actually have a pretty powerful synthesizer inside of GarageBand, maybe another type of vibraphone. So it's a brief introduction there into how GarageBand is used to produce music. It has a number of modes, so when we create a new GarageBand project, we can load up different types of projects, piano, electric guitar, voice, loops, or one of the things that may be useful to you as a podcaster. These are all things that we go over in the course. And so after a little bit more work, not too much more work, but you can see how we've created a piece of music that is a little bit longer and a little bit more involved. Here's what it sounds like. We can change the mix of this song a little bit in real time if we want things a little bit louder. Oops, we have a little mistake there, so I'm just going to fill that in. We need another little loop there. One little mistake. So that's one example of an extended piece of music in GarageBand. We've got a little bit of volume automation. This piece has been made completely of the loops that are in the program. One last thing that we need to do when we've made the GarageBand production is we need to share it with the world. So we have some options up at the top of the screen there. We can send it to iTunes, or we can send it as a podcast. We can burn the song to CD, or we can export the song to disk. So there's a bunch of options there about getting your work out of GarageBand. So that's one little program that we use in the program, and in the audio production program, and an example of how we might use it to create some music for something.